Hey everybody, it's Erin here today, and we're going to make some fun cards from a kit that I had sitting for the past 2 years. And what inspired me is I made these adorable little felt pine cone animals. We have a fox and we have an owl. I mean, they're just so stinking cute. I just love the look of the felt. It reminds me of fall, and as I was making the fox, I had this kit because I've been cleaning out my room, and I was like, oh, that would look so adorable, and why don't I take the ideas and morph it and turn it into. So I'm going to show you how to do the fox face, not the tail, but just the face, and we're going to apply that to a card. So what says that you can't use felt on a card? And heads up, if you want to learn how to make these fun little pine cone animals, check out the Coon and Felt channel. That's where this video is live. The iCard will be up in the corner, and you guys can learn how to make these fun little cute little animals. And you really don't need anything special to make them, just some scissors. And if you want to have fancy circles, you can die cut out with some circles. But I freehand cut most of it. How to make the fox. So this is how I did it, and this is what I mean by freehanding. I started with a corner, and I just did a semicircle, and that's what gave me the fox's face. And then I added the ears. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to come through, and I think I'm going to tweak my ears a bit. I'm not liking that shape. I think they're just a little too small. So I'm going to make my ears a little bit bigger. And this is going to become the back side of my fox. So it doesn't matter that you are drawing on it. I mean, I'm just using a regular pen. I'm making sure my ears are about the same size. I mean, but it's a fox. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's an animal. I mean, heck, not all of you is exactly identical from one side to the other. I'm not. I got one foot bigger than the other, one hand a little bit bigger than the other. Everything's a little bit different. One eye is a little bit of a different shape than the other. I've seen people's earlobes are a little bit different, so don't worry about that it's super matchy-matchy. And then just come in and cut it out. So when you're working with basic shapes, work with the felts, work with the squares that are already there, and then just, it makes it easier to cut shapes. And look, there's our little fox head. Now, I messed up right here, so it's not as good of a corner. So I'm just going to come in and tweak that. There. Now, tell me that doesn't look like a little fox face. So adorable. I think I need to come in a little bit more of an angle on this. So this is where you can kind of come in and you can kind of tweak it. Say, oh, well, this looks a little better. And then just kind of look at it and go, yeah. And it's going to be a point where you need to just stop tweaking because it's going to get a little too much. Next thing is that we are going to add our little eye holes. I've actually die cut it with my Cuttlebug. It's really super simple. I also did the same thing for the eyes and for the nose with a really tiny circle. The downside of this circle is it does cut two sizes. So there's actually two rings, as you can see here. But when I want to make the nose, which is bigger, I'll just keep the two pieces together when I glue them down and it'll work just fine. So I'm not too concerned about that. Okay, so for this piece, all I'm going to do is take a nice pair of fabric scissors and cut that in half. So hard right so far, right? I'm going to arrange my pieces onto my felt first. So I feel like I've got kind of the right spacing for it. And then I'm going to stick my nose on there just to make sure, like, do I want to add it up or down? So like I want to move these down. Just to shift it down a little bit. There, now my nose is kind of sitting a little bit more. And then you put your eyes on there. Look at their little fox starting to come together. See that? I mean, it's basic shapes. We have a triangle, we have circles. That's it. And you cut circle in half, and you work with the corner. Super simple. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my super tight glue. And heads up, links for all supplies are going to be down below. So you guys can find out where I got these things. And there's some coupon codes like for the glue and stuff. So just add your little bit of glue here. Easy, easy. I'm in love with felt lately. I don't know, something about fall and felt, it just works. Now, I have to be careful about my little nose because I told you the little centerpiece kind of pops out. So I'm adding a generous amount of glue and making sure that it stays together and then making sure that glue is on there. And then it doesn't look like it's two pieces. I'm making sure that when I put them down, so it doesn't glue to my hands, it all sticks down there. And then I'm going to add my little eyeballs. And I want to make sure that my eyeballs are facing the right way and they're kind of in the same direction. I mean, I don't want to have one eyeball way up here. Otherwise, it looks like your fox is a little crazy. Which, if that's what you're going for, have at it. You can have a crazy fox. And so there it is. This glue dries pretty fast. You could use a felt glue. There is a fabric glue by Super Tight as well. You're more than welcome to use that. I am just wanting to pull one glue out and use it for the whole thing. So now I can glue the felt to the card and the whole, just be done. Now, this is the piece where I cut the circle out with the die cut, and now we need to cut out some little triangles for the ears, because I think it looks cute when they have little white ears inside. So I am just going to cut a triangle. I'm going to freehand it. I'm going to cut 2 of them. See how super hard this is? Try to keep about the same shape as what I already have. And this is way too big, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down on the bottom now that I have my triangle. And you could overlap your felt too. And it does not sit a little too big still. I always think that they're way bigger than they really are. But when you're going inside, you don't need to have it be super big. And look, see how easy that is. So now I got to cut this one. I think I got to cut more at an angle. And then I need to trim it. There. And I'm not worried about that they're not identical. And look how such a cute little fox face. This is the exact same way that I did the fox face that went on to the pine cone, except instead of gluing it onto the card like we're doing, I'm doing the pine cone. And then I did a tail and feet for the pine cone. And everything is sticking to me, but I will survive. A little bit of glue there. And there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to push this off to the side. We'll let everything kind of finish drying, but look how adorable. This, I mean, this little thing that you do right here, you could cut out another backing piece, you know, another piece that would be a felt. You could put this on the top of a pencil. Obviously, we put this on a pine cone. You saw that version. So many fun things you can do with that. All right, so now the little fox is done. We're going to assemble the rest of the card. Now, in the kit, it actually gave you 1, 2, 3 different things to make. There's a small little note card, which the pieces are here. There's the bigger card, and then there's this little baby card. And while I did this at Pinners Conference way back when, we actually did this in 2016, so it was the September kit, and it just sat for forever. But because we're dealing with ink again, and this is a new ink, this is our next Inktober video. If you hadn't figured that one out yet, probably got that from the title, right? First stage I'm going to do, and actually I'm going to put something on the background that came in this kit. This is a little background paper that you can get. And if you've ever seen, sometimes I'll put down just white sheets of paper. But this one's already got a grid. It becomes as a whole mat, and you just tear off the sheets as you need them. And I was able to bring a couple home. So actually, but I had to fold it up to put it in the bag. But it's kind of cool. I mean, I like the fact that it already has grids. It means you can line it up. It's really awesome. So what are we going to do? Well, the first step we're going to do is we're going to keep the same somewhat design. I know I'm kind of rambling. The paper was already like this. All I did is I took the ink, and I didn't get to bring home the stamps. In the normal kit, you get the stamps. I just didn't. It was a little demo of what the kit was about. And we stamped this. I didn't do a very good job on that corner with the same ink color, which is Early Espresso. So that's going to go there. But I just feel like it's a little too plain. And then our little fox is going to go in the middle, and we're going to have some other layers. So we're going to show you how to do a very, very simple background technique. Look how technical this is. You take it, and you make squares. That's it. And you can do them as, I kind of went a little bit offline here. So it's just adding, look at that. And these little squares are perfect for this. I kind of like the idea I didn't do it perfectly on there, because now I'm going to continue that border going all the way over here. And I want to double check. There's no point in me doing, yeah, see, look. All I need to do is a little bit of the edge here and then going down. I don't need to go along here. So I'm going to come in. I don't want it to look like it's too symmetrical. I want it to look a little bit different. So this, oops, it's not perfect. My arm was right in the way, wasn't it? And there it is. You could go through and do the whole thing. You could also do that technique, and I've done it before with different colors. This is just a fun way of adding a little kind of a background to this. Oh, there's a little hint. I need to add one more little line here, and just freehanding. It does not have to be perfect. This is a very forgiving background. It's to add a little texture, and if you notice, when I'm just very lightly tapping. So it's just getting that little bit of some design in the background. So look at that. It just kind of spruced it up a little bit. Maybe it's too much. Maybe you like the clean. I like it a little bit more grungy because I really want this guy to pop. All right, the next stage is we're going to add a strip, just a little something fun. So let's go ahead and glue this piece down. And again, I told you I'm going to use the same glue for everything. Why not? So really cool, fun background technique for the Inktober. Obviously stamping using the same color. So one color, instead of pulling out all these different colors, change up your background paper. They added the swipe on here, but you could really do this swipe with ink too. You could go whoosh and add that swipe across there. Don't you love that sound effect? For this though, I am going to ink the edges, mostly because there's a little bit of a different kind of a color on the edge of this that I'm not too thrilled about. It's almost getting into a bluey color, and it's not the same color as this. Now, this is a piece that I've pulled out from my own stash. This is not one that went with this kit, but we're going to make it work. So we're going to put this down, and then we're going to add some layers. So I love this burlap piece. I think it's just this nice. It came with the orange, but I'm going to add the orange with the fox. I just think it's too matchy-matchy. And I'm thinking I need to add like a circle. It's just there's not enough of a change, so I need to cut out a circle out of something. All right, so I decided to go ahead and cut my circle out of just paper instead of doing felt. I just thought it was going to have too much thickness because I already have the corrugated paper with the felt and another layer of felt. Just be too much, but it's too starkly white. I love the circle concept on there. See, this is what happens when I start changing, and I think I like the circle because I like the circle that was on the original one, and I changed that up, but I need to ink it. It's just too starkly white. So just a nice, a little bit grungy because the background's kind of grungy. Come in, give it that look, illusion of a layer. One stop shop with this ink, I swear. Okay, now come in, add my glue to the back of this, center it. So we're going to miss a little bit of the design, but that's fine. The focal point of this card is now turning into the fox. I just love this fox. It's so cute, and it was so stinking easy to make. I love that. Okay, now we're going to add this layer. We are going straight across in the middle, just giving it a very symmetrical. Usually I don't go super, super matchy in the middle, but the way the stamp is on there, I'm going to drop this down. I don't want to have this super match. So this is a little piece of burlap trim, and it's been folded up in this little package, and it's got a crink in it. So I'm just going to hold this down just for a quick second. So the reason why I'm having to go smack in the middle is because the design of the stamp. If I go upper or lower, it's going to kind of make it look a little bit off, and I don't like that look. All right, that guy is just, you know what, we're going to do a trick as soon as this is done, after I add my fox. So now I'm going to come in, add glue to my fox, make sure I get my little ears. Here we go. And then center this on the circle. So cute. I love that little fox. All right, here's my trick. You can take something heavy, here's my little jar, and go boop for something. It's gonna stick. It just needs a second, and it's the fibers within in the burlap are wanting to pull up, and it just needs a little bit more time. And so if you just put something on top of it, it'll give it that extra oomph. So this is why I put my paper down, because look how messy that is. In the kit also, we had previously stamped these two things, and I'm going to take one of them, this little hello, and I'm going to add my glue to the back of it and just pop it down right here. I've got two different colors going on here. I've got the cream with the white, but it still works. I mean, it's kind of cool. But because I use that here, now I have to amend it for the second card, which is fine. So let's play on and move on to the next card. So there we go, 3 fun cards using our little Stampin' Up! Ink. This one is the Early Espresso, but any brown ink would work just fine for using our techniques of the squares, splotching, the swiping, or also just inking the corners, and of course, stamping with inks. Don't forget, supply links are down below. Please subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell so that way you guys can get all the fun other Inktober videos that are coming this month and all my other fun videos that I put up throughout the year. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.